So this is a very special episode for me because this behind me is my own car, and as every BMW fanboy I was waiting for the new model to change it up, and seeing what BMW did with the new 3 Series before that, I was expecting something similar for the 4 Series, because the 3 Series honestly is a great modernized design which builds up on the previous model, and then those pictures of the 4 Series were leaked online. And at first I thought it was some kind of prank, I'm not kidding. I was like, BMW can't really do this, not necessarily because it looks so bad, but because it was too radical and too different from what we've seen from BMW. There was something intriguing and bold in the design which I couldn't quite put my finger to. And I strongly believe my 4 Series to be one of the best looking cars that BMW has done recently. It just looks right from every angle, super muscular, it got that nice coupe line, and the front is unmistakably aggressive and BMW, and the new one is just nothing like it. And the BMW community was also quite shocked from the new design, and then came the internet crying from the community about how ugly the car was, how nobody was ever going to buy it and stuff like that. It was almost as much crying as the one with the BMW Supra. But did you notice how BMW has always managed to be in the headlines all the time? And then more pictures of the model started showing as the car review came closer, and more people actually started liking the design. Not everybody, but people were starting to accept it just a little. So after seeing the car in person and spending some time with it, I must say I like the design. It's very bold, it's very different, and it definitely makes a statement. It's a car you'll definitely not ignore on the road, and of course the design is not for everybody. It's a bold and different design, but BMW knows that those type of people are the ones buying the 4 Series. But forget the looks for a second, because this just might be the most exciting BMW has built in years. There are a few things that you just can't go wrong with in the car world, and the BMW straight 6 engine is one of those. Just let us hear it. It just sounds amazing, and there's absolutely no turbo lag whatsoever. This car is just super direct, super instant, and I think it reacts faster to the throttle than even the M5. And it sounds great too, especially for a modern car with all the OPF filters. You can definitely tell that this is an M performance vehicle. But the car doesn't just love straight lines, and it's not just fast at them. It actually loves bends, and you get one of the most direct and the most successful electric steering wheels I have seen in years. You just can place the car perfectly on the road, there is zero body roll, and this car is as good as to handle as the previous BMW M4. And now I will demonstrate to you. Look, we have a turn, and I go with 60 miles per hour, and the car just turns in. There is absolutely no body roll. You can do whatever you want with the car. It's just mind-boggling how quick it is. But if you think 380 horsepower is not enough for this car to wear an M badge, think again, because this is a very serious machine. BMW claims 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds, but we're pretty sure the car is actually even faster. So now we're here to check out just how fast this new BMW M440i is. Now let's check out how the acceleration feels in this new BMW M440i. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the throttle. Wow! The car feels definitely much faster than 380 horsepower. The acceleration is brutal, and so are the gear shifts. This car definitely feels faster than the BMW M550i, which we tested before that. So now let's check out what times did we get from this BMW M440i. We have the best 0 to 60 time in 4.1 seconds and a quarter mile of 12.5 seconds, which is pretty much what you get from the previous model M4. Those are very impressive numbers and says that this car deserves an M badge. So after the initial shock of the new BMW grille, let's examine more closely the design of the new 4 Series, because this just might be the most bold and interesting design we have seen from BMW in years. Of course, we have to start with the new grille, which this time is vertical instead of horizontal. And what's interesting is that this isn't the first time BMW has done a grille like that. In fact, many old BMW models had a grille which pointed downwards, but it's a stretch to say that this grille is inspired by them. More likely it's a case of BMW trying to fit as big a grille as they can in the car, because that's what the Chinese markets love. and to be honest, I think the grille looks okay. If it was in full black it would look better because you could simply ignore it, but honestly it's not that bad in real life and it works in the cohesive design. And I think the one on the M4 actually looks better because this one is kind of half-assed and the M4 goes all the way, but still, as a cohesive design, the front of the new 4 Series is much more pronounced and much more aggressive than the previous model. It does look like a shark from the side, and we have these new headlights which are honestly amazing, but the part I'm not so sure about is this part here. We have the new M-style bumper which is okay, but those things here look kind of unfinished and don't really flow with the rest of the design. Now, the side of the new 4 Series definitely looks better than the previous one. It looks much more like an exotic coupe because it's lower, wider, and you get the more pronounced coupe lines. You also get these muscular wheel arches here, which are taken from the 8 Series and definitely look good. Overall, the whole shape of the car looks like a mini 8 Series, but that's of course, as I said, a good thing. One thing I'm not so sure about is this panel right here, which kind of looks unfinished, and like BMW didn't know what exactly to put here, so they just slammed this big piece of metal. One thing that is for the most hardcore BMW fans and most people probably won't ever notice, but here the Hofmeister King we have from all the BMW models from the 50s has finally been changed. Of course it's not changed that much and it's just reversed, but people will notice it and make it a problem. The back of the 4 Series is the most okayish and normal part of the car, but honestly I'm not too crazy about it. It looks a bit new BMW generic and there isn't too much to talk about here. Of course we have these new tail lights which look okay, but they are not as beautiful as the one on the 8 Series, but the white part here is just way too big and doesn't work with the overall design of the car. Of course we also have this carbon package here which has this little lip and a carbon diffuser down. We have this BMW badge here which is just enormous because the camera is integrated in it. And of course the most important thing, and the one you would definitely won't find in an Audi S4, we have 4 real exhausts which still sound very good. Now let's check out how this new BMW M440i sounds, because this is a 2020 model, we have no pops and bangs, but still BMW has managed to make the car sound okay, even with the new OPF filters. Let's check it out. Under the hood of this BMW M440i we have the brand new 3-liter straight-six petrol engine. Here we have 380 horsepower and 500 Nm of torque. The car does 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds, but I'm pretty sure it will be even faster. The interior of the new BMW 4 Series is what you'd expect from every modern BMW. The first thing you notice is that when you close the door, the seat belt is automatically handed to you. And the biggest news here is that new BMW M seats that are taken directly from the BMW M5. Now that's something you couldn't get before in a car that was more of a base model, but now they're offered, but unfortunately the M logo here is not illuminated. The rest of the design is pretty much standard BMW. You get the new digital dials, the latest iDrive system, and of course this center console with all the buttons cluttered up here. Everything is super functional, but the biggest difference between this interior and the one in the 3 Series is that here you sit much lower and you feel like in a sporty coupe instead of a sedan. This is the 4 Series Coupe, and the Grand Coupe with the 4 doors is coming in a year, but still here you get 2 rear seats which are not too bad, and you get okay space for the legs, and head space is kind of worse, but still you can carry people for short distances. Overall this is an actual 4-seat car and it's not a coupe with 2 back seats which can only be used for luggage, so that means the 4 Series Coupe is pretty practical. The new BMW 4 Series is one of those models that you either love or hate, but there is no in between. With this bold and polarizing design, that is to be expected, but beneath all that there lies one of the best cars to drive that is on sale today. So for those who are not afraid to stand out and want something that is different than every other car out there, the new 4 Series might be a good fit.